man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, apparently Big Charlo did VADA drug test, and he posted it on his Instagram, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But Adrien Broner went to jail yesterday. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it right now because he was in the courtroom crying, talking about he needed help. Let's talk about that first, then we talk about Big Charlo, Jermall Charlo. I don't want to offend Little Charlo, Big Mill. But hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing videos and check out our boxing news playlist for more videos like this. So apparently, y'all mans, y'all guy ain't be always balling, okay, about billions. Was in the courtroom crying to the judge, and basically like AR said about Meek Mill when Meek was crying to the judge. You do whatever you got to do to avoid that time. But Adrien Broner was sentenced to 7 days for violating probation due to a sexual assault he caught in Cleveland, which we documented that over time, so we're not going to go over ancient history. He also got sued for like over $800,000 in a civil lawsuit. So I know one good lady was suing Adrien Broner for leaking a sex tape, and he was avoiding her going town for town, not paying her. All right, because boxers get paid basically in personal checks, 1099, but that's a whole different situation. Most boxers do, all right? But, yeah, with Adrien, he basically said that he didn't have no money, that he needed counseling, he needed help, crying in the courtroom, saying that the mother of his kids won't let him see, or the mothers of his 10 kids won't let him see his kids. Now, he just had another kid this year. He had got bailed out of jail for, I don't know what it was, DUI or failed license, and when he got out of jail, his kid, just another kid had just been born. And, people going around saying that he talking all this shit and he going through things, and people who talk shit and people who don't talk shit go through things. It's life, but he basically said he ain't got no money. I don't know if it's because of the lawsuits or because he ain't been fighting. Maybe that's why he crying that he need $10 million. But, it's unfortunate for Adrien. All right. He has a mother, father. I don't know how much his father has influence over his life. He has a twin. And, he grew up in the hood. And, Al Heyman can't save all of them. That's all I can say. Basically saying that he dead broke, and he probably still sitting on money, just telling that to the judge, or maybe he don't have no money. But when you got 10 kids, you paying child support, you taking care of all 10 kids, and you taking care of your homeboys, and you taking care of your family, and then you still got vices that you want to do, it's hard. And he ain't fought since he lost to Manny Pacquiao. I remember at one point he said Al Heyman was holding his Manny Pacquiao check from him. Now, was he holding from Adrien Broner? So, Broner can have some money once he retire, or did he owe Al some money, or whatever situation may be? Who knows? All right. But at the end of the day, Adrien Broner, he made Adrien Broner big. But people got to understand that it's a persona, and then there's Adrien Broner. He's just doing what Deion Sanders and what wrestlers and what Floyd Mayweather did for a long time. There's Adrien Broner, and then there's AB, and people confuse the two. When AB out here doing interviews and out here, you see him, on Instagram Live and chilling with Tank or whatever he's doing, he's an entertainer. He's AB. But Adrien Broner, the man, it's probably different. Like he look out for people when he went live with Wyatt Live. He seemed like a different person. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people want to kick somebody when they down, when they talk a lot of shit, and they confused with them talking shit and having a good time and promoting themselves with actual real words and real feelings. Now, certain things you don't do, when you're trying to use your mouthpiece, don't get racial, you don't get serious, or you don't touch on serious topics or whatever it may be. But, for Adrien, if he is dead broke and can't see his kids, he need to get his life together. Is he in any position, to box? If he need counseling, he need help. Well, if you need money, he got to box, and it's unfortunate to see this go the way it went. But we all knew it was gonna go this way. We all can see the writing on the wall for Adrien Broner, man. And the writing on the wall is simply that he was headed this way. I think a lot of people think he probably would be dead or in jail at this point. He made a little bit longer than we thought at 31 years old. But a lot of these dudes that's out here living life, graduating college, playing pro ball, boxing. There's no point for you to go out there and have 10 kids by multiple women. All that's going to do is create confusion. All that's going to do is create chaos amongst your kids. You're not going to be able to spend the time you need to spend with this girl, that kid, this kid. And all he doing is destroying his own life. It's easy to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be with multiple women, you should be wrapping it up. And on top of that, on top of child support, he got multiple lawsuits that's going on. So, of course, you know, he ain't in a good place. And of course, he got to go back there and take more punishment to the head. You know, but right now, he's going to sit in the county or the city jail for 7 days and think about what he did. 7 days to go by like that. For him, it's going to seem like a long-ass time, but they didn't handcuff him. They just walked him up out of the jail room. But nobody going to have sympathy when you've been talking all that shit for them that many years. People feel that that's real. Even though it's not real. You have Money Mayweather, Pretty Boy Mayweather, and then you have Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is probably completely different from Money Mayweather. But people can't separate that part from Floyd. You know, you hear about people talk about, oh, Floyd did this for me. He was a good dude, this, that. It's different from Money Mayweather. People get attached to the character. But they never get to know the man because you probably never get to know him outside of real life to begin with. But for Adrien Broner, I don't ever want to kick a brother when he down. But, you know, stay up, Kane. But hopefully he can make it through. He's a strong kid. He grew up in Cincinnati and he'll persevere. But apparently Big Charlo, Jermall Charlo, got VADA drug testing. He showed it on his Instagram. And this is PBC tactics. Derevianchenko said it wasn't no testing about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we a month out from the fight, roughly a month out, we finally see him taking VADA testing. Same thing they did for Manny Pacquiao. These motherfuckers get an opportunity to take shit, flush it out. I'm not saying this in this situation at all. Just talking about people that do it. They get to take shit and then a month out, you know, they test when they got it all out their system. And that's what they doing, man. PBC is not doing 12, 8, 10-week testing. They doing a month testing to make it seem like it's good. You know what I'm saying? You know, a month out, you should have everything out your system ready to go because you still got the commission test. You know, you still got to piss and take their test before and after the fight, I believe. But, you know, like I said before, man, you know, why these dudes ain't taking this testing 8 weeks, 12 weeks, you know, 12 weeks out? I know it costs money. Maybe some of these sanctions bodies should help fund some of this drug testing. If every fighter inside the top 10 or the top 15 is not going to be subject to be tested, you know, thoroughly like everybody else, the champions and the top tier guys, then maybe they should abolish the VADA testing if boxing can't afford it. You know, leave it up to the commission to do their random piss and urine test right before the fight. And before, you know, Mayweather implemented or helped implemented the USADA or the Olympic-style drug testing. Before that, Pernell and Chavez and Jack Johnson and Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson, they wasn't fucking doing this testing. So, at the end of the day, you know, it's good to see Charlo testing, but we talking about a month out. September 26th, and right now it's August, whatever the hell it is. It was August 27th today, and this is the first time he taking the test. Like I said before, man, they allowing a lot of these dudes to flush it out, and that's what Manny Pacquiao. Same thing with Broner and Pacquiao. Broner cried it wasn't no testing. 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out to the fight, they finally start testing. It's the same thing Pacquiao told Floyd. He said, I'll take testing a month out or whatever it was. These dudes can flush all that shit out their system and be ready to suit up and boot up and go. But, I mean, if we ain't going to test, you know, an entire 10 or 12 weeks for a fight or all year round, just get rid of the testing. People just going to have to thug it out. People have to fight at an unfair advantage, but at least you get to keep your, what, 50, 60, 70, $100,000 for the testing in your pocket. Because everybody ain't testing. These PBC dudes ain't testing until 3-4 weeks out against the fight, and we all know that you can get that shit out your system. And that might be one of the reasons why, you know, they refusing to send dudes across the street or they refusing to fight certain dudes. Because they know if you go in there and you make a fight with Crawford, he gonna want testing for 12 weeks. You know, if you go send him across the street versus Demetrius Andrade, Victor Conte gonna sponsor the testing. You got to test for 10 or 12 weeks. So probably a huge part of them pricing themselves out for going across the street or not sending offers is because they, you know, other companies are not going to oblige them only testing for 3 or 4 weeks out from the fight. So let me know what you think about it, man. For me, it sounds hella fishy, but I'm not accusing nobody of nothing. But it's just routine that, you know, these fighters on PBC only take drug tests 3 or 4 weeks out before the fight. Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao said the same thing Derevianchenko said about Charlo. He said, hey, ain't no testing for this fight. And then we make a few videos about it, me and Town, and nobody else make a video about it. Then the new media, the old media start writing about it 3 or 4 weeks out before the Pacquiao-Thurman fight. They start doing testing. Like, come on, bro. You know? But hey, it is what it is. I'm not the one going in there taking punishment. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, crowd response, your video request, or you just want to chop it up, YouTube question, whatever it may be. Check out our Facebook group link. That's there as well. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, description. Best way to donate is share the video. One time for the one time. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We gone.